Hello, you beautiful nerds and comedy connoisseurs. Welcome back to Nerdageddon, where we dive into the most ridiculous, the most brilliant, and the most British corners of entertainment. Today, we're crossing the pond and stepping into the land of dry humor, absurd sketches, and cups of tea that somehow solve every problem. That's right, we're talking classic British comedies. We've picked 5 absolute legends of laughter, from the predictable to the nerdy, from the totally bonkers to the downright genius. So grab your teacup, keep calm, and let's laugh our way through the greatest hits of British comedy history. Allo Allo, 1982. The most predictable jokes. We start our journey in Nazi-occupied France with Allo Allo, the show that said, "Why make new jokes when you can just keep perfecting the same ones forever?" Every single character has their own one-liner. And by episode 2, you know exactly what they'll say next. But here's the magic. You still laugh every single time. Rene, the cafe owner, he's hiding British airmen in the cellar, juggling mistresses, and somehow still finding time to make coffee. Michelle from The Resistance always says, "Listen carefully, I shall say this only once," which is ironic because she says it every episode. The humor is predictable but comfortingly so, like Grandma's Soup or a Monty Python rerun. You know it's coming, but you love it anyway. It's silly, cheeky, and oh so British. The IT Crowd, 2006. The nerdiest comedy ever. Have you tried turning it off and on again? A line so powerful it could probably fix your life, not just your computer. The IT Crowd is every nerd's dream come true. Set in the dusty basement of a massive company, we've got Moss, a socially awkward genius. Roy, the lazy tech support guy who'd rather be anywhere else. And Jen, the manager who doesn't know what IT even stands for. It's hilarious because it's so painfully real. If you've ever worked tech support or just helped your mom connect to Wi-Fi, you'll feel seen and roasted. The show has everything: broken printers, rogue fire drills, and one unforgettable episode where Moss Googles how to fire a gun during a robbery. The writing is sharp, the timing is perfect, and it's proof that nerds really do rule the comedy world. Snuff Box, 2006. The most obscure and weirdly wonderful. Now we enter the weird zone. Snuff Box is, well, how do I put this? Imagine a sketch show written during a fever dream by 2 men trapped in a whiskey bottle. And somehow it's brilliant. Created by Matt Berry and Rich Fulcher, Snuff Box is a dark, surreal sketch show where executioners joke about love lives and pub conversations spiral into existential madness. It's awkward, random, and at times you're not even sure if you should be laughing. But you do anyway, because the delivery, the absurdity, and that sweet British charm make it absolutely unforgettable. It's like the secret handshake of British comedy. Few know it, but those who do can't stop quoting it. Definitely a must-watch for anyone who enjoys their humor. Bizarre. Black Books, 2000. The most lovably miserable. Next up, we have Black Books, the story of one man's war against his customers, sobriety, and basic human decency. Bernard Black, played by Irish comedian Dylan Moran, owns a tiny bookshop in London and absolutely despises everyone who enters it. He drinks more wine than he sells books, and his customer service skills could start an international incident. He's joined by his optimistic assistant Manny, played by Bill Bailey, and the equally dysfunctional Fran. Together, they form one of the most chaotic, lovable trios in TV history. Black Books is like a warm pint of sarcasm, bitter, hilarious, and perfectly British. If Oscar Wilde ran a bookstore, this would be his life. Blackadder, 1983 to 1989. The best overall, and finally the crown jewel of British comedy, Blackadder. Rowan Atkinson, yes, Mr. Bean himself, leads this historical masterpiece that spans 4 eras of British history, from the Middle Ages to World War I, and somehow gets funnier every season. Each series reinvents the same basic idea. Atkinson plays Edmund Blackadder, a snarky, scheming anti-hero who's usually surrounded by idiots. Looking at you, Baldrick. It's witty, it's clever, and the dialogue is razor sharp. Every episode feels like it was written by Shakespeare's funniest student. You've got satire, political humor, wordplay so good it deserves an award, and some of the most quotable lines in comedy history. The final episode of Blackadder Goes Forth even manages to be genuinely emotional, a rare feat for any comedy show. This is not just good British TV. This is British comedy royalty, a must-watch for anyone who wants to understand why the UK has the funniest people on earth. And there you have it, the 5 most legendary British comedies, according to Nerdageddon. From the predictable laughs of Allo Allo to the chaotic genius of Blackadder, these shows prove that British humor truly stands in a class of its own. So grab a cuppa, binge these classics, and remember, if you don't laugh at least once per episode, you might already be dead inside. Thanks for watching, nerds. Smash that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell.